Hello, guys, gals, non-binary pals. Thank you for joining us for another episode of GSC's Girl Pod. I am one of your hosts, Candy. Hello, and I am joined by two people here. One of them you should recognize by now from Girl Pod, and if you don't, you haven't been watching. So go watch those back episodes and then come back. But I'm joined by Brit. How you doing today, Brit?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. We're not recording this on a Monday. We are recording this
Mhm.
on a Tuesday in the evening, so I'm awake. I feel good. My brain is working. So we're gonna make sure that this first episode of the year is fantastic. And in order to make sure we have an extra fantastic episode, we also have a guest. First episode of the year, first guest of the year. We have all the way from the land down under. We have Frase. How you doing, Frase?
I am doing just marvelous, thank you. It is New Year's Eve for me, so I'm all in the spirit, and I am so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Uh, we are happy to have you and that it worked because, as we've said on the podcast before, Britt and I, and if you can tell by our accents, we're in the US, and we've talked about how we're in New York. So there's like a 16-hour time difference, and this is like the 1 week that we could make it work. So we are
Yeah.
very happy that we were able to not just make it work, like because everybody's off and time zone, but like where it, like, really truly worked where everybody's, like, awake and not,
Yeah. And it's not the middle of the night for
Mhm.
anyone.
If
I
he was
remember
here, it
one.
would be, like, really early, wouldn't it be?
Yes,
Mhm.
poor
I
V.
think
I
that was
know.
the one caveat is that we V couldn't make it because of the
I
time
know.
zone.
I know.
Yeah.
Uh,
We're gonna
There
make it
was one
happen.
show that we
mm.
did early last year where it was nighttime and then the sun started to rise in the background of one of someone's show. It's like, oh, maybe you should go to bed. I think we're done here.
No, that's so valid. That's so I mean, and I
Yeah.
don't mind, like, early morning recordings, within reason, obviously. But when the
Hmm.
the time difference is, like, 16 hours, finding that
Yes.
perfect finding that
Yeah.
perfect frame is, ooh, it's,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
it's
I
a
play
thing.
D&D with people who are in British Columbia, and they're just, like, a couple hours behind, but everyone wants to record at 8 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and it's, like, 5 a.m. for him,
Mhm.
and
I
he's like,
haven't.
"I went to bed 2 hours ago."
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Exactly.
time zones are crazy.
Yeah, they're
But it's amazing because like we are all over the world,
Mhm.
mhm.
and the GSC has brought us together and
Yeah.
just created so many amazing memories and beautiful friendships.
Mhm.
And yeah, I'm in the future, you're in the past. I can tell you that tomorrow's beautiful. It's another beautiful day to be alive.
That's the optimism that we need going into 2026. And if you're listening to
Yep.
this, one, take that optimism and carry it with you. And two, if you're like, Ray said GSC. What the hell is GSC? One, how did you find this podcast? And two, let me tell you what GSC is. GSC is Gamer Social Club. That is how we all met. That's the YouTube channel that you're on right now, which, if you haven't clicked the subscribe button, you absolutely should. Because once you subscribe to this channel, you'll get the weekly episodes of Girl Pod. You will also get the weekly news podcast, which, yes, it has been on a small hiatus because it's the holiday season. There's not as much news coming out. And I will say that gang, the Europe gang, as I think we have now decided to call them, because we can't just say UK gang. Uh, you know, they work really hard to get that news out all the time. They're taking a well-deserved break, but they will be back. But if that's not enough for you, if you're like these podcasts are amazing, but I need more, right? There's also gamersocialclub.ca. That's the website we write for. Again, we're in New York, Phrase in Australia, but the website is a .ca because it all began in Canada. That's the website. You'll find editorials, guides, news, reviews written for gamers by gamers. And if that's still not enough, if you're like, "These people sound so cool, I wanna hang out with them," there's a Discord. The link is in the description for this video below. That is the I'm gonna steal Harry's word from the news podcast. That's the rigmarole that you're gonna get on this show. If you wanna hear the tenets of the website, you're gonna have to go to the weekly news podcast where they take things way
Yeah.
more seriously.
He loves it, doesn't he? He
He
loves it.
he's got it
Pillar
so
number
down.
1.
I've tried on a handful of episodes, and I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? Go to the news podcast."
Yeah, they got it. They got it down. I
Yeah,
love it.
it's so, like, on it, and I'm like, duh, 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 rule 1, and there's 2, and, I think there's a 3rd.
Don't
We're
know what it is. The
don't
3rd
know what
one
it is.
is just enjoy yourself. Be
Yeah.
There's
good to
rules.
somebody.
There's rules.
There's a there's rules. Could you imagine that? There's, like, rules? There's what? The rule on this podcast, though, is you always come with a drink. That is
Oh,
the
yes.
rule on this podcast. So, Phrase, what do you have for us today?
Well, it is the holiday season, and I am a very fancy man. I'm as fancy as they come. So, I've actually got some bubbly today,
Ooh.
because I love some bubbles. I just do. So, I bought myself a bottle of Shandon. Got a bottle of a Brut from Australia,
Okay.
and that's me. I love. I don't like beer. I'm not a
Same.
beer guy. Um, I will have a beer and enjoy it, but that's me done. I'm not gonna sit and drink beer after beer after beer. But wine, whew, I can go all day and all night and all the next day. It's
So
yeah.
fair.
So yeah, I and always around Christmas time, we actually ever since my wife Monique and I met, our first Christmas together, we shared a bottle of bubbles, and from then on, we've just bought a bottle of bubbles every Christmas day. So we sit in our Christmas pajamas and we drink bubbles and eat lots of yummy food. So I had to buy 3 or 4 bottles of bubbles.
I love that tradition, though. I think that's
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a good tradition.
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, we will. So we've already done it on Boxing Day. We buy next year's pajamas and we wrap them and pop them in the cupboard. And so when it comes to Christmas time, you've forgotten what you're getting. And so this year, I had forgotten that I got a Grinch onesie with a little hood. And it was because it's Australia, short, like short sleeves,
Yeah.
short shorts. Oh, mate, I love it.
Because over
I'm
there,
gonna,
it's summertime. It's like summer weather
yeah,
at
yeah,
Christmas.
Mhm.
Like,
yes,
Candy and I have been dealing with sleet and windstorms and like
Mhm.
rain and snow. Like, it was 50 degrees 2 days ago, and now it's below freezing, and we've
Yeah.
gotten a bunch of snow. So, yeah.
Mhm.
yeah. It was 38 degrees Celsius on Christmas Day, which I believe is up in the 90s.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I
Ugh.
think, if I can remember correctly. I love it. If I could live on the sun, I would. Um,
But it'll
It's
melt all
so
your
actually
video games.
100. It was
Oh
100.
no.
100.4.
No.
yeah,
No, no, no. Oh gosh.
so yeah, that was our Christmas Day. We had some lamb shanks and some salads and some bubbly, and love it.
I'm not gonna lie, a lot of what I learn about Australia is from Bluey.
That is the Australian, you know, of
I
yeah,
mean
of you.
I mean, uh, I was talking to my daughter about it, I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Well, why are you recording so late?" And I was like, "Oh, our friend's in Australia and the time zone." And she goes, "Like Bluey? Does he know Bluey?"
Aw.
Fraser knows Bluey.
Okay.
Not well. We're not on first name basis, but
Okay.
yeah. Same with the Wiggles. You aware of the
Yeah.
Wiggles? Yeah, the Wiggles
Love
are
the
pretty big
Mhm.
Wiggles.
here.
Oh my
The
god.
Wiggles have become almost a phenomenon here, and they've
Mhm.
started doing festivals and things like that, where they are definitely it's not like they're appreciated. Everybody bloody loves them, but
Mhm.
Oh,
it's odd to see the Wiggles perform at like a heavy metal festival, but it happens, and people just
okay.
love it. It's a Australian pastime. Toot toot, chugga chugga, big red car.
Oh
Oh,
my god.
Love
I
it.
like fruit salad. Fruit salad's my go-to
Yeah.
song.
And Wake Up Jeff, that's another classic.
Yeah. They've been around for
That
a
sounds like a whole
while.
'nother language to me right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I
They've been through
full
a
spaghetti.
couple of lineup changes, so I
Mhm.
Yep.
think that's why they're still going strong.
Mhm.
Love it.
They've added some
No.
young
Oh my
blood on
god.
it. Yeah.
Yep,
There's some
yep.
young blood.
Jeff's
There's
still
some
there
girls on
though.
the team.
I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure Jeff's still there, but
You always gotta have, like, one
because I'm
OG person.
amazing. Is it the red wiggle? Can't remember what his name is.
I feel like
Um,
all of those things, there's always one person. Everybody else rotates out, and there's, like,
Yeah,
like, what is it? I mean, this man probably maybe should not still be performing, but, like, Frankie Valli is still performing, and I'm like, "Frankie." Like, Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons. The rest of the seasons have changed. It's the same thing with the
yeah,
Temptations. There's, like, one guy, and then I'm like, maybe it's time. It's okay to, like,
yeah.
sing in the
It is
shower
okay to
instead.
stop. It's okay to stop
Mhm.
and just live off the royalties of everything.
Yes. Oh my god. Mhm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so back on track. That's exactly what I'm drinking. I've got an Australian brute, and I'm happy days. Got a nice little glass too,
I know,
little
you're so
crystal glass. I'm
fancy.
drinking it.
It's so fancy over there.
Hmm.
I ain't fancy. What about you, Brit? Normally you have a nice fancy beverage.
um, I am drinking a London Fog. Uh, it's almost gone because you can't let tea sit because it gets
Mhm.
cold. But if you don't know what a London Fog it is a Earl Grey tea with lavender and vanilla. I made my own lavender oat milk, and then yeah, um, I put a picture in our thing when it was pretty. So maybe Candy can do some editing and put it right here.
I'm
Here's
gonna
a
put it
picture.
right there.
Put it right here. Picture of my beautiful drink. Um, I put lovely foam and lavender petals on top, and so it was.
It
Now
looks gorgeous.
Mhm.
it's a delicious drink. If you're not like a big just plain tea drinker, ask for a London Fog the next time you go to a fancy, like London Fog latte. They'll know what it is.
Mm.
And it's really, 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 really good. I know
I
some
love
people
your
don't like
cup too.
flowers. Oh,
I know.
thank
That
you.
mug is lovely.
That's the one thing people like to get me is when they go on trips, like souvenirs, they'll bring me back really cool cups from. My parents
I
went on
always
a trip
find
this summer and
they
that
went
was
to
my
beans.
yeah.
Love it. I always
Mhm.
find that too big for me. I'm not a
Really?
big hot drink person.
Mhm.
I
Oh,
like
okay.
I'd rather have 2 or 3 hot drinks than like one big one.
Mhm.
Okay.
Um, so I always find like those mugs. I got a couple of them as well, but they're always too big.
Mine's more of a hand warmer. So
Oh yeah,
like
So you
I
can
use them
hold
yeah.
as
it that
hand
way.
warmers. Like this isn't even the biggest cup I own. I own like bigger cups, but like it's a hand warmer. I'm usually
Love
an
it.
iced coffee girly. If you know, you know.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
but you know, when I get it's cold weather,
Gotta
gotta
switch it up.
have
Yeah. Got
yeah,
to.
you gotta switch it up. But London Fog's really easy. I love it. You don't have to be fancy with it. Just throw some lavender syrup, some vanilla syrup in there.
Just some lavender and vanilla.
Yeah, I
Do you make
mean,
Okay.
your own lavender and vanilla syrup?
um, usually I make my own. So lavender, yes, because I get freeze dried lavender from like a source, and then like you make it in the pot with like sugar, water, boil it down. I did not have any left over, so I just steeped the flowers in hot milk and made my own.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Yum.
just bougie
I'm into
things.
it.
Ju-
Love it.
just just bougie things. See, now I feel so not bougie now because I'm the one, the heathen that's just like drinking out of the can.
Are you drinking Pepsi out of a mug?
No, I'm not drinking Pepsi out of a fancy mug. My fancy mug was last week. I just have more dock cider. I'm back on the sour cherry, train
Mm,
again. That's
Yes.
why I'm like, I'm just drinking right out of
Yeah.
you know, the can. Um,
I love cider. I love cider so
I don't
much.
like beer. I love cider. And
Mhm.
yeah.
I
I'm
should
not a
say not
beer
all.
person either.
Yeah, not all, ciders, because there are some ciders where I'm like, "Ooh, this is a little too dry," or "This is too this." Um, but a one that's a little bit on the sweeter side, what I don't like that they've been doing recently is, like, the ciders with hops, and I'm like, "No, then
Oh,
it's basically like a
yuck.
beer." Like, I
Yeah.
don't want that. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want
Mm,
it to be a
No.
beer.
no.
Yeah.
Like, and, we're in New York, it's like, if you're listening to this
It's
outside,
apples
uh
galore.
yeah, it's apples galore, right? So I'm like, we have some of the best ciders, right? And that's, I don't make cider, so it's not like I'm flexing on this. It's just that we are the Big Apple. That is our state, right? Like our
Yeah.
state fruit
Mhm.
is apple. Like we have good apples, which means we have good cider, right? Like that is just a thing. And then some of these places go and ruin it. And they're like, how about if we
Yeah.
did this? I'm like, how about if you didn't? How about you
Yeah.
don't?
Just yeah. There's been one thing that has been cropping up more and more here in Australia is those alcoholic ginger beers.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah.
Delicious. I They're delicious. They're absolutely delicious.
Kinda like a mule
And
almost. Yeah.
yeah, yep, yep, yep.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Um, in Australia, we've got this weird, like the way that they tax alcohol is very odd.
Mhm.
So those like pre-mixed drinks, like you buy the Woodstock and colas, for instance, those are so expensive. We're talking like $50 a box,
Wow.
50
Damn.
AUD. But yet beer is like $12, $13 a dozen. So
Jeez.
I don't know if it's done on like the percentage or if it's done on spirits versus not, but the ciders and the ginger beers are a lot cheaper than some of those
Mhm.
crazy premixes that are usually not that nice anyway.
Yeah.
So
There's very few, even here, that I feel like the premixes are, like, pretty good, and now now what you see a lot is they'll sell them in, like, smaller containers, so, like, one that I've seen a
yeah,
lot of and I heard of them for the first time maybe, like, 3 or 4 years ago, and I kinda thought it was a joke, and now I've seen them in stores. Uh, we sell things called buzz balls, and
okay,
I thought
sure.
I swear to God, I thought it was a joke, and they are maybe the size of a fist, right? But depending on what you get, they are fairly strong.
Knock
Um,
you on your ass
yes,
strong.
and I'm like,
Oh,
why?" And the thing is they don't taste great, right?
yeah,
Whereas I'm
Mm-mm.
yeah,
like, you could buy like some of the flavors that I've seen, I'm like, "But you could buy this and make it at home and make it just as strong and make it taste way better." Right? Like,
Yeah.
there is no
It
reason for
it
this.
tastes like you're drinking rubbing alcohol 90% of the time.
Yeah.
I
oh,
think their main existence is for, like, tailgating or picnic type. That's how I would see them used,
Mhm.
but I know people just pick them up to drink them on a normal basis.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
something else.
Make your mixed drinks, like, at home,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll taste way better. You have more control, and it'll save you money too, because 'cause
Mhm.
they're not cheap. They're just not.
No,
Like,
no.
it's
Yeah.
crazy, but, um, yeah, I've seen those as, like, mixed things. Occasionally, you'll see, like, the margaritas that are already made or,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
um, you'll
That's a
see
really big thing here.
yeah, those are
The
huge. Those are
Mhm.
that
huge.
they've gone down almost like an artisan, like these are specialty fancy things. So they'll come in a little glass bottle, and it's a single serve of said cocktail.
Mhm.
Mm.
And they a lot of them started during COVID. So
Yeah.
in during COVID here, um, was very odd. There was a lot of like they did lockdowns, so people weren't allowed to leave their home, but certain things were open. So bottle stores were open, obviously.
Mhm.
The casino was open, obviously. Um,
I don't get
just
that, but,
I don't get
things
that.
like things like that. And so people were making these pre-made cocktails,
Mm,
and delivery drivers would be taking them all over the city.
Mhm.
mm. Here
Yeah.
they
Selling
would
you.
let people just like so like you would order food and if the place served alcohol, you could take it to go. Like,
Mhm.
do you guys have Applebee's in Australia?
No, no.
So Applebee's is kind of like a chain restaurant where it's like I'm gonna call it a mediocre food,
It is.
Mhm.
and a lot of it is microwaved, and
Mhm.
you could order food, but you could also order a drink to go, like
It's
alcohol
amazing.
in like a to go straw drink type of thing, and it's
Mhm.
like okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was
Uh,
just very odd to see that be offered. But I guess if you have a liquor license and no one can drink in the restaurant,
Mhm.
in
Yeah.
a lot of places, that's where they make a bulk of their money is their drinks.
yeah.
Oh, especially in Applebee's, as someone who used to work at an
Mhm,
Applebee's, the
I
amount
was
of
just about to
liquor
say,
that they
didn't
give
you
you.
work there?
Yeah, I did. There's one episode, one of the early episodes of Girl Pod where we talked about it, and I was like, "Here's how you make the white peach sangria," and I was like, "Wow, the fact that that just came back with like,
Yeah.
no."
That's terrifying.
It was really terrifying. I was like, "Why do I
uh,
remember all that?" But yeah, like the amount of booze that you actually get for the price you pay, not not worth it. And that's most restaurants, right? I'm not going to say that's
Yeah.
just Applebee's, that is most, especially chain restaurants. Um, if you're getting mixed drinks, martinis, blah blah blah. Or sorry, if you're getting mixed drinks, you're not getting your money's worth, let's say. But if you are getting like wine martinis, then it's probably a little bit different. Um, but yeah, no, you know, that's where the money really gets made because they sell you a drink for 15 bucks and it cost maybe $1.
Mm.
But I used to
Yeah.
mhm,
love it when it was on the check and people tipped on that check.
Definitely. See, like in Australia, well, especially in Melbourne, because Melbourne is seen to be like the hospitality capital of the world,
mhm,
and we have various levels of eating out,
Mhm.
and so I would say 75% of places you go are absolutely incredible, and everything is done properly. Sure, you pay for it,
Mhm.
but the drinks that you're getting have got alcohol in them, sometimes
Yeah.
too much. And but then you'll go to a certain place, especially like a I don't know really what you call them, but like there's a couple of boats that go up and down the river that are
Okay, yeah.
bars,
Mhm.
and
okay,
the drinks that you get on those boats are terrible. And
Mhm.
you see them loading up in the back, and they've just got big tubs of cocktail, like pre-made cocktail,
Yep.
and they're almost putting it into 1.5 liter Coke bottles and just like tipping it into glasses. And they're like $20, $20,
Yep.
$20.
Mhm.
is it very,
Unreal.
like, tourist heavy there?
Um, yes, but it's actually all the locals that go to the scum places. The tourists are the ones that go to the fancy places.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's fair.
we're
That's
very we're very lucky here in Melbourne. Like, it's difficult to find bad food,
mm,
difficult to find bad anything, to be honest. Like, you really have to go out searching for it. um
okay.
I think it's just because next door are offering just as good, and if you want to make money, you have to be just as good as them.
Mhm.
And so, because there is a cafe next door, you only get one chance,
Yeah.
and if you mess it up or if you do something wrong, then you're done. Everyone will move on.
No, that's
My
I
hus
think that's fair, yeah.
there is so we have a lot of, like, mom and pop restaurants around here, like, very little
Hmm.
chains, but there is one company that owns 2 different restaurants that are, like, walking distance with like, less than a mile away from each other, but they've got very different vibes. One
Mhm.
is like a biker bar that
Yeah.
serves food, and one is like a sit-down pizza restaurant that serves wine and stuff, and they both
Oh.
serve the same exact food. Same exact food. Terrible.
Mhm.
Just terrible. But people are like,
Yeah.
"Well, I'm not coming if the biker bar has crap food, I'm gonna go right next door to it," not knowing that it's owned by the same people. You're getting the
Mhm.
same
And it's
crap food.
yeah,
Yep.
it's
We went in there,
amazing.
we spent, a family of like, there's 3 of us. My daughter ordered, I think, like, a mini pizza, like, personal pan pizza. I ordered a burger, my husband ordered a pasta dish. 75, $80 for 3 of us to eat
Wow.
with a tip, and
Yeah.
my burger was not seasoned
Mm.
at all, and I was like, "We're never coming here again."
Yeah.
No. That's
But then there's,
that's the
like,
worst.
a mom and pop shop, like, 10 minutes from us that has become our favorite, like, our
Yeah.
favorite stomping ground. 69-cent wings on Mondays and $10
Mhm.
chicken finger platters on Tuesdays. Like, and
Like
I don't mean, like,
that's yeah.
2
Yeah.
chicken fingers and, like, a small handful of fries. I talked to the owner's wife, and he said he went through, when he was a kid, like, there were times where he didn't eat so his siblings could eat. So he makes sure that there's affordable plates for people to still be able to go out especially when things are so pricey right now. So I'll keep
That's
giving
sweet.
them money.
Yeah.
I mean, the food is amazing,
Absolutely.
first of all, but,
Yeah.
like, that's
Mhm.
how you keep people in business. Like,
Mhm.
So
serve
that's
good
where you're
food.
taking me when I visit you, right?
Yes,
Okay.
they have a good bar too. So,
I love a
Perfect.
good chicken finger.
right?
Okay, so we know where
So,
Brit is
Yeah.
taking us, right?
Yeah.
yeah, where are you taking
Yeah.
us? You
Yeah.
don't have to give us the name, you don't have to dox it, but
Well,
what
I
kind of
was gonna
food?
say, where's Phrase taking his fantasy guest, and who is it?
Mm,
Oh, we okay, okay,
okay.
okay. I like that segue. It was
I
very
try to have some
aggressive,
good segues.
but
Even when we go on tangents, I try.
yeah, yeah. All right. So, my fantasy guest. You may or may not be aware that I am a very big heavy metal fan. Very big
What?
heavy metal fan.
No way.
Wouldn't have picked
The
it.
shirt totally doesn't give it away.
It actually says live laugh love on it
But that is
if you can
such
see.
a distinctive, like, heavy metal font. Like
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so good. Like if you can't read it, it's heavy metal. That's it. So there is this one particular band that goes by the name of Cannibal Corpse.
Mhm,
Now,
Okay.
they are pretty heavy
mhm.
in their early years. They were banned from a lot of countries for touring. All of their record covers have got really grotesque pictures on them, and
Yep,
so
I've
they would
seen a
have
few.
censored artwork covers, which now are actually like really big collectible things. Oddly enough, um, but the singer of Cannibal Corpse, his name is George Corpse Grinder Fisher. Now, he is actually a gorgeous human being, and when they tour, he goes to claw machine arcades and spends hundreds of dollars on claw machines and takes all of the teddy bears that he wins to orphanages and gifts them away to people, which I think is absolutely amazing. He's such a lovely guy. And one day I was watching an interview with him, and it turns out he's a gamer. And so he was a huge World of Warcraft player. And
Okay.
he went on a rant because he like, you know, being in heavy metal, we like the evil things, we like the bad guys, we like the monsters and the demons, and so obviously he played Horde.
Mhm.
And then in an update, the Horde got the ability to be a paladin, and he was like, what is this crap? I don't want healing bullshit. I want fireballs and lightning.
Okay. Mhm.
And it's brilliant because you know you play these games because you want to be a certain thing, and then they kind of cater to everyone. So my fantasy guest is I want to talk to George about heavy metal and about video games and about
Mhm.
balancing, because we all play games as a hobby, right? And so does he.
Mhm.
But he's got a much more strenuous touring lifestyle than we do.
Right.
And like how do you balance all of those hobbies with life and touring? I reckon it'd be like a super interesting conversation. And we'd probably go to some local arcade and play some claw machines while we did it.
Hell yeah. Are you any good at claw
Yeah.
machines?
No, terrible. Absolutely terrible.
I
I play the ones that are guaranteed wins.
mm, I'm not awful at them, but I'm not great at them. Like I'm definitely
Yeah.
somewhere middle of the road. Um, I know of Cannibal Corpse. I couldn't name you a single song. But I know the name
Just
and I've seen some of
add
the art.
some add some words together and that's a song.
And like, but I am aware of their like standing in the heavy metal world. So while I definitely could not talk to him about music, right, I would definitely be interested in hearing some of the takes on like World of Warcraft. And I think some of the takes on Paladins too in general because
Mm,
I'm someone who plays a lot of D&D and I'd be curious then also how he feels about like Paladins and other gaming media, right?
yeah,
Because is it just specifically the way World of Warcraft brought them in and did things with them? And I don't know enough about World of Warcraft, or I don't know about
no,
enough about Warcraft in general, right? I played like Warcraft 2 and 3 many, many, many moons ago. Uh and
yeah,
I tried World of Warcraft and I was like, I hate MMOs. This is just not it for me. Right. So, but there are other like if you play Baldur's Gate, you can play an evil paladin, right? If you play Dungeons and
mhm,
Dragons, you can play an evil paladin. And some of that is because of the specific god that you worship, right?
yeah.
Um, some of that
But
is
does that not go against what a
no.
paladin stands for?
No, so that's the thing. So depending on the game and like the universe, right? You can be a
Yeah,
paladin for an evil god, right? So you are still the warrior of this evil god who, you know, wants to destroy everything or who wants to see everybody be miserable, right? So you have your, it's almost like or I'm gonna call it a cult, right? It's almost like if you were to dissect a cult in some ways, right? Where you have
yep,
the talkers and then you have the warriors, and your paladin is basically just a warrior just for some entity, right? That is
yeah.
not so good.
Okay, okay.
Um, so there is that. So it's like I would be curious, is it the way that World of Warcraft did it? Or is it the idea of a paladin in general? Because then how do you deal with all of these other universes that allow you to be an
Yeah,
evil paladin, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
is it sort of like you just asked where it's like, well, doesn't that go against the whole thing? Where it's like, well, not really. Like, yes, you can heal the rest of the warriors for this evil thing to continue and fight the evil fight, I guess if you want to call it that, right? Like
yeah.
there there are and not that I'm not going to say every game does it well because not every game does it well.
Mhm.
But I'd be curious, like, where is that line for him?
Yeah. Well, cause see, I always saw a paladin as a good boy, walking around in his white armor, flashing like an elf,
Mhm.
like a loser elf. And
Yeah, that's I think it'd be
and
interesting.
then to be a bad paladin or a horde paladin. Yeah, it'd be a super interesting conversation. I would yeah, I would definitely be there. So George, when you hear this, mate, come on down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come on
absolutely.
down.
And what
Yeah.
other games is he playing? I know World of Warcraft can take a lot of time, right?
Mm,
I'd
yeah.
also be curious, like, since when was he playing World of Warcraft, right? Like, did he start, like, sort of day one? Um, and if so, like,
Yeah.
then how do you feel about some of the other additions that have been added, right? Because I played Warcraft, like, years ago, um, but I always think it's interesting what Blizzard has been doing, where it's like, we give you these expansion packs and people love or hate them. Fine. You want to run around and fight as a panda, you can do that now, right? But then they're also like, and now what we're going to do is remember when you first started playing this game, we're going to resell you that same thing, but we're going to call it WoW Classic, right? And I'm like, you just resold the same game to people again at like another subscription, right? And
And people bought it.
people bought it and they're all about it and they're still paying that subscription, right? And I mean, Blizzard is kind of doing the same thing with Overwatch, although Overwatch is a free to play game now, right? Where it's like, we brought in Overwatch 2 and we changed the lineup of things, but now we're going to give you times that you can play it with the original 6v6 instead of this 5v5. And I'm like, you're just giving people the same game that you got rid of or improved or changed. Like, how do you keep doing this and getting away with it, Blizzard? I don't understand. And why do we keep
Yeah.
and royal we, why do we keep allowing it? What's wrong with us?
And it also seems like World of Warcraft's a huge time investment.
Yes.
And I would say that, again, just going back to George, like he'd have a lot of downtime traveling,
Mhm.
but then he also has a very strenuous job.
Yeah.
And I don't like, I was in a band in my younger years, and after a show, I'm exhausted. I'm not going to go back to my hotel room and play World of Warcraft.
I mean,
Right.
some people will, or maybe that's like the disconnect, right, from everything
Yep.
else. And but and at its height, maybe not so much now. World of Warcraft was also very raid dependent, right? So I had friends who played, and this used to drive me nuts because we were in college, right? And it'd be like, oh, let's go to this club, or let's go to this party, or let's go to this thing. And it would be like a Friday night, and they'd say, "I can't because I have to raid." I'm like, "What do you mean that we are 21 years old, the legal drinking
Yeah.
age in the United States, and you are telling me that on a Friday night, you can't go out because you have to like sign into World of Warcraft for a raid," right? So, in thinking of someone like him, like, how do you balance that, right? Because you are then
Right.
going different time zones, right? Different
Mm-hmm. Yep.
countries, and what is your ping like when you're raiding with it, right? Like, what are
Yeah.
all these things like in the
Yeah.
grand scheme of things?
And because I know, again, they take that so seriously that if you, I used to be in a Destiny 2 group,
Mm.
and
Mhm.
there were rules. Like if you didn't participate in certain activities, you were done.
Mm-mm.
So like, yeah, he obviously maybe just started
Maybe, yeah.
his own group. It was
Anybody who toured
just a
with
bunch of,
them just had to be World of Warcraft
yeah,
players.
that's right, that's right.
Like,
So
alright,
good. So yeah,
pre-show
that,
ritual.
yeah, let's get our horde paladins out and we'll sacrifice them.
Could you imagine? I mean, I would be interested, like, what is that like? And, I mean, maybe he wasn't as much of a raider, maybe there were other things, right? I know
Mm,
now
yeah,
it's a little bit easier because, um, they've introduced different ways of, like, finding people and, you know, all of that, so I guess it's easier to play, so maybe it works for his schedule a little bit more now, um, and I if we could, right, I would be curious to hear his best impersonation of the Leroy Jenkins meme from World of Warcraft, because everybody knows. I feel like most people know that meme, whether you play WoW or not, right?
I
And
I actually don't know it. I
so
have no idea
it's
what you're talking about.
it is now it's like a sound alert that you can hear. I cannot imitate it because I'm not good enough, but uh it's someone who like charged into like a battle, right? And probably should not
Yeah,
have. Um, just screaming, "Leroy Jenkins!" And so you heard it, and, like, if you look it up, you just find, like, this one clip, and for some reason, this thing went viral, right? And I was like, "I don't understand why this went viral." But now I've seen it, like, people use it in TikToks for things that have been unrelated. People use it as, like, sound alerts in their Twitch streams, like,
Yeah,
huge, right? So, again, I'm not even gonna call that an impersonation because that was just, whatever nonsense I just tried. But I would love to hear, like, as someone who does play and probably has much more context for that whole thing, 'cause I believe at first people thought it was, someone did it on a whim, but I think it came out later that it was staged. Someone else can correct me because, again, I'm not a WoW person. Uh, but I'd be curious, like, what was that like hearing that, and were you afraid that something like that was gonna happen, like, while you're trying to take this game serious you know and there are some very cute
oh,
things in WoW, and there are some things that are not so cute, and it's like, what would you wanna see in a game like this that has such a massive fandom, and besides the Horde Paladins, what would you remove, right? Like, I'd be curious. Don't remove the cute little
yeah,
corgis in the game because that's,
no,
like, the
you
one
gotta
thing
have
that I
yeah.
like.
Any sort of animals in games, I'm a fan. Except when they force you to hunt them to upgrade
Mm,
things.
mhm.
I'm not a fan of that. Oh, you have to go out and kill 5 bears, but I don't want to.
I mean, but if you're
I don't
Horde,
want to
maybe you
kill
do want
5.
to.
Yep, true, true.
See? So,
Fish yeah, true, yeah,
not part of Cannibal Corpse for nothing.
yeah, yeah. So good, isn't it? Such a good name. There's yeah, yeah. I just they're so that I reckon they just sit down with a thesaurus and just like pick out words and be like, cool, let's write a song about this word.
Sometimes I really feel like some of these bands do that, like, because 'cause I'm like, "What? This song name makes no sense." I'm like, "What is this? Like,
Yeah,
how did we get here?" I don't listen
yeah,
to heavy metal, but Sean does. So occasionally, he has like he'll take his headphones off and I'll just hear it blaring from his headphones and I'm like, "What in the hell is that?" Like, "What?" And
yeah.
he'll be like, "Oh, this song is called whatever." And I'm like,
Love
"Eh?"
yeah, yeah. It's and sometimes you really can't pick metal people.
No.
Like, especially, like, at my
Mm-mm.
work when they were like, "Oh, what sort of music do you listen to?" I'm like, "Oh, like, I listen to death metal." And they're like, "Really? But you're so happy and lovely." Like, "Yeah, I can be 2 things."
What do they want you to listen to, K-pop?
Right? Exactly. Probably K-pop's even more evil than than heavy metal.
I
I mean, if you
mean,
can
I do
wrangle a
love it.
whole bunch of,
Yeah.
uh, what is it? Uh, K-pop Demon
the
Hunters, like,
demons, yeah.
you've
Yeah.
got an
Yeah.
adults, you've got children
Mhm.
I
wrangled
do love
in.
me some K-pop. Yeah. My Spotify Wrapped this year was it was like dance pop and death metal,
I love that
and
though.
that's it. That's just life. Yeah,
No, that
love
was
it.
like the other day he was listening to he I heard BTS come out of his headphones and then I swear like the next song was like something by like Meshuggah or something and I was like, "What?" I was like,
Yeah,
how did we get here? What is happening?"
yeah. I can go from cattle decapitation to Celine Dion in the flick of a switch,
Okay, but I mean
and
Celine Dion is classic.
yeah, yeah, right. My when we met, my wife and I were she was very much into heavy metal. As she's like as we've mellowed, her music taste has mellowed. She still appreciates it all,
Mhm.
but like I keep dragging her along to all these metal shows. Like we went and saw there's this Norwegian black metal band called Behemoth.
Mhm.
Sorry, no, they're not Norwegian. They're from Poland, and they came out on the stage, and they had like pigs' heads on the top of these things, and I was like, "This is the most metal fucking thing I've ever seen in my life." And I look over at Mon, and she's just got this big grin, and I'm like, "Yeah, you're loving this. You're loving this. You're having a great time."
Oh my
Yeah.
god. I can't. It's funny because I appreciate everything about, like, heavy metal until the singer starts. I can't get
Yeah,
past
yeah.
that's the part that, like, I can't get past. I'm like, "That growl, I'm like, that's the part that I'm just like, "And I'm done." Like,
And
the
yeah,
the music itself, like, hearing, the drums and some of those people, I'm like, "You must have calf muscles that are, like, out of this world, the way that you were
yeah,
hitting those double bass pedals," and, like, there's no way, right? Um, but
yeah,
that and then the guitars, right? I'm like, "This is great." Right? And then they come in with the growl, and I'm like, "That is not English. I don't know what this is." Right? And yet sometimes it's truly not English because they are, singing in a different language. But sometimes I'm
yeah,
like, "Those aren't words. Those aren't even sounds. That is like what I expect to hear from like my voice on my deathbed. That's what that sounds like. And you're keeping this
mm,
tone for 5 minutes of a song and then
yeah,
like taking maybe a breath and jumping into the next."
yeah. It makes me so happy. I don't know. There's just something about it. I just love it. It makes like put on a good heavy metal song, and I'm in such a good mood. We used to use it. I used to use it to get people to clean the cafe faster at the end of the day. So like
Interesting.
when we'd finish up, we'd close the doors and the music would come on and we'd all take turns. And if it had been a really busy day and everything was filthy, you'd put some heavy metal on and everything would get cleaned so quickly because everyone wants to leave.
Oh my god. I just
Yeah. So it's almost like a torture thing, but I love it. I can put it on at 7 o'clock in the morning and yeah.
I yeah,
I
I
used to
can't.
be into metalcore back
Yeah.
in the day. Metalcore,
I mean,
Attack
metalcore is a
Attack,
little bit I feel like it's a
Chiodos,
little bit different. A
Devil
little
Wears Prada.
Mhm.
Yeah, 'cause it's
It's all
there's
got
more.
that same intensity though. Like it's
Yeah,
Yes.
the intensity that I love. It
yeah,
that like
Yes.
I don't like yeah, all of these
yeah,
crazy little subgenres and genres, like I
Mhm.
get lost in it all. It's like
yeah.
it's metal or it's not.
No, I
I have
mean, that's
partial hearing
fair.
loss from going to some of these shows. There
Yes.
was,
Yeah.
one of the venues here, um, like, it was, like, hometown shows, like, a bunch of, like, local bands,
Mhm.
and I would stand way too close to the speaker,
Mhm.
and I have partial hearing loss in my left ear because of it,
Yeah.
because I would just, on top of listening
Yeah.
to, like, music way too loud.
Mhm.
Yeah. In-ear
So
Yeah.
headphones cranked up to
mhm,
maximum volume,
Yep.
mhm.
walking with your Discman down the street. Yeah.
My
Mm.
Taurus,
That was it.
I swear, like, so in order to get, like, the music, like I had one of those, like, Ford Taurus. You'll know what I mean, Candy. I don't know
Mhm.
if they had Ford Tauruses
They might have called him
in
something else
Australia,
too, yeah.
but they're,
Yeah.
like, the sedans that parents buy for their children, to be like a beater, like, just
Mhm.
basically a beater car.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
had one of those, and the bass in the front stopped working because I blew out the
Yes.
the
Mhm.
front. I'm trying to remember the song I listened to on repeat. It was 4 Years Strong.
Oh my god, I've seen them live a few times, yeah.
Yeah, I have too. 4 Years Strong. I think it was
Amazing.
Bada Bing with a pipe. The
I know
do
that
do
song.
do
Yeah.
do 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 do
Mhm.
do, and then it drops. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
But I think that's how I blew out the front speakers in my Ford Focus.
Yeah.
That
And
the
Ford
because we
Focus?
were
Focus?
all
Was that what it was? Taurus. It was a Taurus.
way too cool to wear earplugs, right? I'm not gonna wear earplugs to a concert.
Mhm.
What sort of nerd does that?
I had
Now,
one
mate, my
friend
earplugs are so
I had one friend who did that. And I rem he would yell at me every time. Sadly, he's no longer with us, but I remember so, you know, I guess he saved my hearing for another couple of years, but I remember he would always bring headphones he would bring the earplugs, and if we were going to a concert together, he would always bring disposables for me because he always
Aw.
knew that I was
Mhm.
He
not I
knew. Yeah.
I would never bring them, and it would
Yep.
always be him, like, not yelling, but he'd be like, put them in, like, one d and I remember, he'd be like, "Well, one day you're not gonna be able to hear the music." And I was like, "That's great, and then also if I ever get married, I'll never hear my partner nagging me either, so it's a win-win." And he was like, "No, you're gonna wanna hear them." Like, so but he would always, always didn't even matter what show we were at, he was like, "Here's disposable ones." I was just like, "Alright." I remember there were a
Yeah.
few times where I was like, "I'll cover your ticket because after a while, you've spent so much money on these disposable earplugs for me."
My husband bought us loop, the really nice loop,
Yep.
things. We
Mhm.
went to Death Cab for Cutie, and, we're in our 30s, I was like, is there chairs? Can I sit?
Mhm.
Like, is it standing
Oh,
only or is
yes.
it sit?
Yeah.
Like, and we were in the front and I was like, "Oh, is there chairs?" There was pull-out chairs, but we had our loops and we're sitting there and everyone's standing around us and I'm like, "Sit down. If you're over
Mhm.
30, sit down. Sit down. I
Yeah.
know you're all over
This is
30.
bliss.
I can't see and I'm not standing up. Sit down."
Yeah.
Mhm. No,
I love a seat now in a show.
Mhm.
I
same.
will always get a seated ticket
Yep.
now. I love it.
Mhm.
So
If
Yeah.
it's available, I'll
we
do it.
went and saw Paramore a few months ago. Paramore came
Ooh,
to town,
nice.
and Mon's a huge fan, so I got us tickets to go and see that. And we're sitting there, and like younger me would be disgusted, but I had a burger and chips and a beer at my and sitting in my chair watching Paramore. I was
Mhm.
like, "This is brilliant.
It's so
This is
good.
like if I was in that mosh pit there, I couldn't have this
Nope.
little
Mhm.
packet of chips. Like, yeah,
First time I saw Paramore, it was standing room only. It was this it was like one of those venues that it was standing room. There was no place in the entire place to sit down at all. It was like a bunch of kids with carabiners and keys
Mhm.
and, that type.
yeah,
You would stand
yeah,
outside even though it was freezing cold, no just in a hoodie because you didn't wanna bring your coat to the show.
Yup.
First time I saw them,
yeah.
they were, weren't well known. First time, that's when I saw them. Then the last time, most recent, they were on tour with No Doubt, and
Stop. Yeah.
I had a seat. We were eating popcorn, drinking a beer. It was,
Mhm.
20, I think I was in my
Watching No
20s.
Doubt
Mhm.
and like, what is this?
Yep.
Like, that is peak life right there.
That
Mhm.
is.
That is,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think the first time I saw Paramore, they were, I would have been like 20, so maybe 20 odd years ago,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and they were doing that, the Vans Warped tour,
Yup.
uh,
Yup.
and the Vans Warped tour didn't come to Australia, but the bands came and they played a whole bunch of other festivals. So like I saw Paramore. I think the band that played before them was Hatebreed. So
Mhm.
Hatebreed played,
Mhm.
and then Paramore played, and then I think it was Primus.
Yep.
And this little band in the middle was like, who the fuck are these guys? What are they doing here? They don't fit this at all.
I
But
love
it was
that.
so good. They had so much energy, and I didn't like it back then, but I never forgot it.
Mhm.
Like it was one of those things of like these guys are pretty cool, but I wasn't into that sort of music back
Mhm.
then.
No,
If I could
that's fair.
understand what they were saying, I didn't care for it.
That was when they were back probably on the Fueled by Ramen.
I saw
Um,
so many Fueled by Ramen shows, oh my god.
yep. Mhm.
I don't know what
So
that is,
many
but it sounds amazing.
So Fueled by Ramen was like a record label that had a lot of these bands. So Fall Out
Yeah.
Boy was
Fall Out
part of
Boy.
it,
Mhm.
Oh,
Paramore, The
Fall Out Boy's
Academy
brilliant.
is.
Yeah.
There was one show that I saw, and uh, it was literally The Academy is, Fall Out Boy, Gym Class Heroes, and I'm trying to remember who the fourth one was. And it was such a good freaking show. Um, it was.
Yeah.
This is okay. This is gonna be such a boomer take, right? Um, because, besides the sitting and standing thing, right, the other thing that drives me nuts is concert ticket prices, right? Because I'm like,
It's
I
unbearable.
remember seeing some of these bands and paying not even 20 bucks, and now to see some of these
Mhm.
bands, it's like 200
It's
bucks, and I'm
200
like,
bucks.
"Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
Yeah.
refuse."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the very first time I ever saw My Chemical Romance was, like, a local show, right?
Mm.
And they played this place called Dock 73. It was, like, where local bands played. I think maybe they had just put out Bullets, like, it wasn't or and Bullets might not have even come out yet. And then I saw them a couple years ago, uh, at Barclay Center, and it was so expensive, but they're doing another tour, and I was like, "Oh, I'll go." Except that I saw that tickets were like $300 a pop, and I was like, "Nope, you know what? I've seen you a few times. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
okay." Like,
Yeah.
I can't. I'm like, it's so much money for a few hours, and then,
Yeah.
depending on where it is and what my seats are and other stuff, then I'm like, I can't even fully enjoy it in the same way. And then sometimes you have the
Mhm.
people around you that I'm like, I know you spent just as much money as I did, and you are making this concert experience awful because you're either overly drunk or overly, and I'm like, I can't, like, I just want
Or
to
you're
enjoy the
experiencing
show.
it through your cell phone.
Oh my God.
Mm. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I only I really only go to festivals now. Like if
Hmm.
I'm gonna pay $200, I'm gonna pay $250 to see 5 bands
Yeah.
as
Mhm.
opposed to 1 or 2. But then the flip side of that is I take a day off work. I
Hmm.
have to travel there.
Yep.
I have to
Yep.
then there's tomorrow.
Hmm.
Like, am I gonna be able to I'm gonna be so tired tomorrow. I
Hmm.
can't
Mhm.
Okay, but
oh, the joys.
what's the most you would pay to see Cannibal Corpse?
I'll pay $100 to see them.
Okay.
I've seen them half a dozen times already. Um, and kind of like a fine cheese, they actually are only getting better.
Okay.
Um, at some point, they probably will stop. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I reckon at the moment, generally, a concert ticket is going for about $100. I think I'm going to see the Deftones in March, and that was $97 to see them.
Okay.
Pretty
Nice.
much my maximum. If there's two bands that I want to see, I'll pay more.
Hmm.
Um, I think I paid $180 to see a couple of old '90s metal bands that were doing a reunion show. So
That's
I
fair.
never saw them when they were
Yeah.
big, so this was like my only chance to see them. Um, so yeah,
No,
did that.
that's so
That was a
fair.
lot of fun.
So
But yeah.
George, listen, I mean, Frase is willing to pay like his
Mm,
maximum to see your band, but you could
yeah,
also be on the podcast and we could talk all the game stuff too.
yeah, yeah. I'd love that. George, come on down.
Yeah. Listen, I'm just saying the podcast is open. Even if I can't
Yeah.
understand any words that are sung in your band songs, we are open to having you on and talking gaming
Mm,
and talk
yeah.
be one of us over at GSC. Like, just join us, just hang out, play some
Yeah.
games with
Yeah.
us. Phrase is our community
Yeah.
manager.
I am. I am. Who saw Terminator winning this month? Not me. Not
I
me at all.
I didn't know. So,
Um,
for those who aren't in the Discord, Phrase is community manager, and one of the things that Phrase does every month is set up game of the month, where some games will be put out as options. The community will vote amongst those options, and then there is a game of the month that gets chosen. With the idea being that that is a game that people will be playing, so that there's more conversation happening around the game as people are enjoying it. So for the month of January. It is Terminator. Terminator 2D No Fate, I think is the
dude.
full name.
Yep. That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the
Um,
one.
that is clearly that's not what I voted for, which is why I had to second guess what the full name
What's crazy is that
was.
everyone I've talked to is not like it won, but I don't know who voted for it.
You can see who voted for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now that it's
But I will
closed.
Now
say
that it's closed, yeah.
the community is getting bigger
Mm-hmm.
and it's getting more boisterous and I'm
Yes.
loving it.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a
Mhm.
lot more people, obviously we're always going to have the people that lurk in the background and that are just there for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the whole idea behind the Discord is just like a fun, safe space to come and just talk games. Get away from all the negativity and just come and
Mhm.
hang out and just have a good time.
Yeah.
See, a lot
So
of the
yeah.
games, like, are not games I would play, but being in a in a Discord where there are a bunch of people talking about games they like, th it's not that I'm not in the know, it's just
Mhm.
everyone remember how I
Yeah.
keep saying, like, cozy is relative and
Mhm.
someone's cozy game is not another person's cozy game?
Mhm.
And that's what about, what's his name's? That's his cozy game.
World
World
of
of
Warcraft,
Warcraft is
yeah.
his
Mm.
that's how he cozies up.
Mhm.
Yep. Yep.
So, you know, Terminator, any none of okay. When you put things out there, I'm like, could this be my cozy game? Could this be a new cozy game for me? I've started, Blueprints, which a
Yes,
bunch
I
of people
started
have
that
raved about,
too.
and I'm enthralled. I love puzzle
Mhm.
games, but at first I
Mhm.
was like, What is Blueprints?" Because I
Mhm.
really didn't know too crazy and much, like, about it, and now I'm
Yep.
mildly
Yep.
obsessed.
Same.
Mildly
I love
obsessed.
that.
So, um,
But
but
don't forget
I
this
think
you did promise that this is the year that you would try things
mhm,
outside of your comfort
I
zone.
did. I did, and I bought games out of those
Mhm.
comfort zones.
Yep.
Um, we've got, Witcher 3 and 2.
This is Brit's year to
Um,
do it.
Ooh.
yeah,
Mhm.
we've got, Star Wars
Yeah.
Jedi Fallen Order. Um, I
Ooh.
brought out Payday 2 the other day. I hate shooter games, and I was playing Payday 2 the other day. So, we're playing we're playing new games in
Mhm.
2026. So, I
I love
think
that for you.
yeah, I think game of the month is going to be my jumping platform too. So,
Mm,
Mhm.
because they're
good
because
idea.
I see games and I'm like, those are not my cup of tea, which they're just for like that's my personal opinion. But there's some people who are like, I love this game. This is the best game I've ever played. Like, so I'm gonna
Mhm.
take those in advice and start getting those games. So, which will just
Especially
add
with
to my
Steam, like Steam, sometimes it's
Mhm.
criminal to not buy them
Yes.
because
it
of
was
how cheap they are.
it was $4.99 for Jedi Fallen Order. Why not?
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
And I
think
tell you, it's a brilliant game. It's
yeah,
Mhm.
brilliant.
Payday 2 was $1.99.
Yeah.
Yep.
Payday Payday 2 looks like an old game. It definitely looks like an old game, but damn is it
Apparently it's
fun.
better than Payday 3 though.
It
Payday
That's
3
what
is.
a lot
was
of
I
people say, yeah.
atrocious.
Mhm. It
Mhm.
is.
Yeah.
So,
That's the same with Killing Floor. Killing Floor
mhm,
3 was my first uh, kind of dive into Killing Floor,
Okay.
mhm,
and I really enjoyed it. And all the stuff that I was posting, everyone's like, "This game sucks. Killing Floor 2 was better." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Let's see what Killing Floor 2 was like." It's old. It's just an old game that,
Mhm.
mhm.
like, it's. I can see it's got its charm, but
Yeah,
it's too clunky for me.
Fair.
I need it to be. I need it to be
mhm,
a little bit
yeah,
more modern.
Mhm.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, apparently, like the Payday 2 versus Payday 3 is like chalk and cheese. Like 3
mhm,
was just terrible.
yeah.
That's
I
the
was
hard
watching,
thing. Mhm.
Candy play Sonic Origins today, and oh my gosh, the nostalgia. Sonic
Yeah.
Origin like, the first Sonic game was one of the first video games I ever played. Did
It's
I
so
ever
cool.
get past level 2? No,
No.
That makes me
but
feel so
this
much better that at least I got slightly farther. Not by
yeah.
much, but slightly.
Someone gifted it to me a couple like, back in November, and I haven't picked it up yet,
Do it.
but,
Just just
um,
just dive in.
yeah,
Yeah, eyes closed, head first.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
would also suggest that if you're going to do The Witcher, definitely play The Witcher 2 and then
Okay,
play 3,
okay.
Okay.
just because of the mechanical upgrades
Okay,
of
Mhm.
3 is just a far superior game. 2 is
okay.
incredible, but I think if you were to play 3, then going back to 2 would be so difficult.
I heard 1 wasn't even worth it.
think one was I never played it. I've had a
Mhm,
couple of friends that played it, and I think it was like there was no tutorial. Nobody had
Mm.
any idea what you were doing. There's all
mhm.
these like spells and potions and poisons, and you're like, I don't. What does any of this do?
No, that's
The thing that
fair.
I loved about The Witcher was having to prepare for fights.
Mhm.
That's what got me, was like, if a monster jumps out and you're not ready, it's gonna be a tough fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you know that you're coming up against a certain enemy, you can put a certain oil on your blade, you can drink a bunch of potions, and then go and attack, and you'll find that fight so much easier. But Witcher 3, whoa, what a game. You're in for a treat.
I'm excited to play because I've played Fallout 4 and I've played Skyrim. Um, I played both of those. Well, I played Fallout 4 a long time ago, but
Mhm.
I did a almost a full playthrough of Skyrim. Um,
Mhm.
and I played which none of these are anyway cohesive, but they're just out of my realm. I played Resident Evil Bio
Biohazard.
Biohazard,
Biohazard.
which is
Yep.
a horror game meets a game that I'm not used to playing, and it was
Mhm.
just dang,
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
these are not, so
I think that the thing with like The Witcher and the Skyrim and the Fallout and that is that off the beaten track stuff is where it shines.
Mm.
mhm,
Like
Mhm.
the side quests and the writing and
Yeah.
the conversations that you have, that's what makes this game just
yeah.
oh. Same with Cyberpunk.
Mhm.
It didn't, on release it didn't do well. Now it's incredible. Like it's such a good game, but like the main story, it's fine. The side stories, that's where it shines. That's where the writing like thrives.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think there's a few games like that. I mean, I think maybe the most recent one that's kind of like that is like Baldur's Gate 3, where like
Mhm.
the main story is good and fine and whatever, it's very standard like D&D sort of stuff. But I feel like the side quest where you also get to follow like a character's story, a character's path more than like the main, right? I think
Yeah.
is where, like, the writing shines, the branching narrative shines, right? Like, where all of that
Yeah.
really comes into play, right? And I haven't played Cyberpunk, like, aesthetic just usually isn't my jam in general, um,
Yeah.
but I've watched some people play and I've spoken to people and they're like, "Yeah, you do one run and you do it this way and, you romance this person, you make these choices and you do this," and it's like those when people are talking about it, I feel like much more often they're talking about the way that it's branched and the choices that they've made and
Yeah.
all the side stuff. So
Yeah.
rarely do you hear, "Oh, yeah, the main story was really good because X, Y, and Z." It's always it's like around it, right?
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, it's a means to an end, which I think is really interesting. I mean, I also do kinda wanna see, like, more stuff like that too, right?
Yeah.
Especially for me where I'm a very character and story person, right? Obviously, the
Mhm.
gameplay mechanics are important, right? But um, like I like to see that growth, I like to see that development, I like to see that interaction. So, that's
Yeah.
why as silly as some of them are, games like Persona where it's a very linear story, but you have all these ways that you can choose the time you spend with characters. I'm like, yeah, I like that because I want to see the characters grow and develop, right? Um, you know, I know I'm very, very, very late to this, but I'm currently playing Expedition 33, which I've talked a little bit about in the Discord. And I'm like, yes, it's a fantastic game. I'm not taking that away from it. But I kind of wish there was like true more time with the characters and seeing some
Yep.
of that instead of it, oh, you're at camp and now you can like spend time. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but I wish there was also more out there besides just the cosmetics. Cause I'm like, I'll be honest, y'all, I can't care less about the cosmetics. Like, I
No. I
I don't care.
think there was one that I changed. and the rest of them I just kept standard because they just looked cool.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
the base cosmetics were brilliant. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
run around dressed up as a mime. I'm not gonna run
Uh,
around in swimming trunks.
yeah,
Like,
I've done some of it, and I'm just like, I don't care enough for just cosmetic stuff, right? And then I can only
no,
progress things at the camp and, I'm like, I want because I like the characters, but then I'm like, "Oh, I just get these little asides with them while we're running through things, and then a little bit here," and I'm like, I don't wanna just dress them up. If I wanted to just dress up characters, I would just play The Sims and dress up characters, and
I
I
play
enjoy me some
Warframe.
Sims, okay? I enjoy me some Sims. I'm not insulting The Sims, but I would just then put them in different clothes there. It was fine.
Yeah.
You can play Warframe. I know War oh my god. I know Warframe has
Fashion frame.
so many different, ones that you can put on them. I've seen some of them, and it has Ben Star too, so you can get the best of everything.
Mm,
So you don't need any
yeah.
other game.
Well, that's the end game. The end game of Warframe is fashion frame. Everyone like that's why we play it. I want to look good while I kill stuff.
That's it. It's like, yeah, I just
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Do we need anything else?
but they keep introducing new things, mm,
Yes, they
new
do.
new
Yeah,
warframes and new. I don't know. I see some updates every once in a while, and I'm like, I have no context for what any of this means. But then I see some pictures, and I'm like, they look beautiful, but I don't know what you
I'm
do
so
or who you are.
yeah. I'm so shocked that they never get any love at the Game Awards for ongoing
Yeah.
community anything ever. And the game's been going for 10 years.
Mhm.
It's still free. Every update is bigger than the last.
Yes.
Like it just and they're constantly revamping old mechanics.
Mhm.
And it just and then they're like, "Oh, cool, best ongoing game, Helldivers." You're
You
like,
mean ongoing for 2 years?
"Yeah, yeah, like come on, come on."
Yeah. I
Helldivers
mean.
is great. Don't get me wrong. I had a lot of fun with it. But we're talking about ongoing.
Mhm.
Let's give some flowers where they're due.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting with Warframe too because when I saw them at PAX East, they talked about how important the community is to them. And,
Yeah,
also with a game that's lasted so long, how do you keep allowing new people in? And they have really thought it through and reworked the beginning of the game, right? So that there is a path that new players can take that doesn't feel like a grind and a waste and like really made it something that feels welcoming, right?
yeah.
To new players. So it is really interesting that they don't get uh that same
Mm.
sort of like love. And maybe it's just that it's not vocal enough. Right? Like, that the
Yeah, maybe.
community isn't vocal enough because everybody's I think it's always one of those things everybody's so happy with what they have that they're like, "This is good. This is good. We're
Yeah, we
happy.
don't need
We're
any more.
content."
Yeah, yeah,
Right? We get a new Warframe, like, every quarter or whatever it is, 'cause I think that's what it was, like, every quarter or every, like, 4 months, it's like a new
yeah,
one comes
yeah.
out, right?
There's a new
So.
one, and then and then they prime an old one,
Right. So they're
and
always
yeah,
retooling, right? So people are probably
mm,
like, "We're
yeah,
good," whereas Helldivers came out, right? And people enjoyed it, and then there was the whole thing with, like, the PlayStation account, like, that came in the
yeah,
news and, all this
yeah,
stuff that has happened around it, but then it's like, "Best ongoing," and it's like, "What?
yeah,
You guys were just
yeah.
complaining about this game 6 months ago. What do you mean? What's happening?"
And I think a whole part of it with that Warframe thing as well is of why they're so community driven is I'm pretty sure all of the upper management were originally just players
Mhm.
that,
A lot of them, yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
made content, then were employed by DE, and then were employed more and more. And I think
Mhm.
I think her name's Rebecca. I can't remember what her last name
Yes.
is,
Mhm.
but
She was at
she's
PAX,
like
yeah.
the big yeah, she's like the big dog, and she used to just play.
Mhm.
Like, and I think that's why it's so community and people driven. I think every week they're doing like little live streams of like what's happening in Warframe next week,
Yes.
and
Mhm.
it's really cool.
Okay,
That reminds
so
me, I do need to go back. Massive, massive update that's just been dropped.
so let's see. So Brit is gonna do niche game awards this year. That's the goal. So, do we need to have you as like, you're already the GSC like community manager. Do we also need to have you retool or represent what community gaming really looks like and make that like your award showcase? Because clearly I'm just
Mm,
making everybody do awards at this point.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's your
All right,
undertaking.
let's do it. Let's do it. End of the year. End of the year, we'll do a what really is got the best community.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'd be
Yeah.
really interesting, right? Because so many games have community, right? And if you're talking like a MMO type of game and a very specific type of community, but the idea of a gaming community, and I think this is really representative in GSC, if you're looking at the Discord, you're looking at anything else, right? There are so many different types of gamers, right? And I think that was one thing
Yeah.
that the Indie Game Awards got right with the way they did their they didn't call it player choice, but, like, the ones that people chose, and it was like, "Here's each genre, and here's this," right? Um, but I feel like when we think about community support games, so often people are thinking about games that people are playing together, right? But there's, a community for all different types of cozy games, right? Like Sims, maybe their community has shrunk a bit because of everything else that's gone on with the sale, but, right, there is a Sims community. People are playing on their own, right? They're not playing with everybody, but that community is so, like, connected, right? And so in conversation with each other and Brit can talk better about it than I could, but, Stardew, you can play yeah, you can play
Mm,
up to 4 people on the base game, but there's a huge Stardew community, right? And it's not a million people on one server or whatever, so thinking about how we're defining gaming communities,
And a
right?
lot of these games started off single player. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Stardew, you could not play multiplayer
Mhm.
till I don't know. For a while, there was like a um, kind of like a code you could put in to allow you to play
Mhm.
multiplayer, and then they released it with multiplayer.
Mhm.
Um, so like, and you can't play unless you have mods for Sims. You can't play multiplayer.
Mhm.
Um, so there's so many games where you play solo, but it I feel like it's like a like GSC where everyone plays their own game, but they all come together to talk about it, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why
That's
I think
exactly what it
defining
is.
it is
Mhm.
would be really interesting for an award show, for an editorial, for, like, whatever. I think that's sort of different. I mean, there's I feel like I didn't hear this term a lot until, uh, like, really being in Discords with other gamers as much, like parallel play. Right? And I know that that term is used in other spaces, but I feel like in the gaming community, like, there's so much parallel play where it's like, I'm playing a game, you might be playing the same game, but we're not actually playing together because the game just may not have the capacity for it, right?
Mm, yeah.
Or we just don't want to for whatever or, whatever that case is, right? So it's like there's so much of that happens and we've done this in GSE occasionally too, where we're all sitting in a Discord audio line and people are playing different games, but we might be sharing our screen and, you know,
Yeah.
we're we're in community with each other, but we're not in a community in the way that's been so defined by like the game awards, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's up to us to break it down.
Yeah. Break down those walls. Yeah. I love it. I'm here for it, Candy. I'm here.
That's why you're the community manager. I'm just throwing
What
ideas
are
at the
you
wall. You can take them and
Yep.
and run.
Yep. 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 What are your so if Brit is playing out of her comfort zone games, what are you doing this year? Have you got
Ah,
any sort of not goals, but are you gonna do anything?
Um, as far as gaming, I don't know. Um, I mean, there's a few games that are on my radar, but they're pretty typical. I would play this anyway. Except the one that is less typical for me to an extent. Um, and I did get to play it at New York Comic Con, Pragmata, right? That's a little less typical because I'm not a shooter person normally, but that'll be one that
Yeah.
I dive into. I mean, I played Resident Evil 4, but I did that as like a community challenge. There's that word again. Um, I did it as a Twitch community challenge where people were like, play a Resident Evil game. And I was like, okay. So I played that one. Not the remake, the one that was ported to the Switch. So eek.
Oh,
Um,
goodness, you
yeah.
poor thing.
It was fine though. It was fine except when I forgot that I struggled with a fight so bad. I can't remember the character, but I struggled with the fight and there was a bomb. And I was so excited when I beat the fight that I forgot about the bomb. So I lost and I had to redo the fight again. Cause I was like, there's a clip of it somewhere. And I was like, yes, yes, yes. And chat is just
I've
like,
done it.
Candy the bomb. And I was like, oh, oh. I did not make it
Oh,
out.
no, the bomb.
I was like, but I finally won this fight. But yeah, I mean, I will say 2025, I tried a few different things. Um,
Mhm.
because that was Resident Evil. I also played Dead Take, which is a psychological horror, which I don't normally do horror. Um, and it took me streaming it and like having people like chatting with me to distract me from how scary and tense it was at times. Um,
That's like,
so
how I got through Biohazard.
yeah, right? And it's like, I need people with me. Um,
Just eyes closed.
I
Just
you
Dude,
can't even do
running
eyes
away
closed
from
in some of them, that's the worst part.
no, running away from what's his name, Daddy or Jack in Bio that was the worst part. Oh no.
Yeah.
And you're hi was that the
Mm-mm.
part where you're, like, hiding in the kitchen, and
He's coming after you with a
he's tr
chainsaw.
yeah,
Mhm.
Mhm.
yeah, and you have to, like, hide down behind the thing, and then you have to run and hide
Yep.
down. Yeah,
And he's
so
chasing
good.
you the whole time through the house
Yeah,
as you're exploring to get stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, that
guys.
Mhm. No,
I'm
yeah, I
having
mean,
fun. I'm having
yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you try to convince yourself you're having fun and it's like, "Ah, I mean, there are very few games that I won't try. Um, but like I don't have Game Pass, so when I am trying a game, it's normally maybe something that's older, so it's cheaper on Steam, and then I'm like, okay, I'll try it.
Yep,
Um, or like someone has gifted it to me, or if it's on like a PlayStation, and they have a hard copy of it, like a physical copy, I'll play it that way. Um, but for
yep,
the most part, I will try things. Uh, Sometimes I just really, really don't enjoy them. And the problem is that when I don't enjoy it, it's very obvious, especially if I'm streaming it. Um,
yep,
like I played Elden Ring just once, right? And it was on stream because again, it was a challenge. And I just remember someone being like, "You look miserable playing this game." I'm like, "I am miserable playing this game. Absolutely."
yep,
Right? I'm
yep.
like, but I'm a person of my word, so I will stick with the challenge. I will do it. But yes. And I remember people being like, "But you're actually pretty good. Like you're not bad at the game. You've done a lot more than people usually do." And I'm like, "But I hate it." Like
Yeah.
I don't care if I'm good or not. I am actively
Yeah,
like
I
not enjoying
hate
this.
this. Yeah,
Um
yeah. I've got a
Yeah.
terrible trait where even if I'm not enjoying it, I have to push through.
Mm,
I just can't put it down. I I don't know. I I can more than happily walk away from a movie
but not a
or
game?
put down a TV show, but for some reason when I start playing a game, I have to finish it.
That's fair. No,
Don't know.
that's fair.
Don't know.
That's why, like, I
Yeah,
I feel like I'm selective with the games that, like, if
I
there's
need
like,
to be
"Oh,"
more.
if it's like, "Oh, who wants to review this game?" If I look at it and I'm like, there's like a chance that I won't enjoy this. There's only been like 2 games that I really have not enjoyed. And I
Yeah.
finished them, but I was like, this was painful. Um, one of them
And how are you
made me angry.
supposed to do a honest review of something that you've hated, right? Like,
Yeah, and that's why I try not
and
to.
removing those
Yeah.
selective thoughts and being like, is this a good game or is it not?
Mhm. And I
Yeah.
usually try to balance that by being like, you know, in in a review, I'll be like, this game is for X, Y, and Z person, right? And that's
Yeah.
how I've tried to
Yeah.
balance good, bad, right? If you like the challenge, if you like this, if you can disregard this thing, right? Then you'll like the game. Like there was one game that, it was a struggle to finish because things were mis mistranslated, not translated at all. Like there were so then there were mechanics that I was like, this doesn't make sense because you haven't explained this, blah, blah, blah. I did end up finishing it, but it was like such a struggle. Right. And I'm like, yeah, I guess if you like this thing and you speak this language and when they show up with these characters that like then you'll be fine. Um but yeah, like so I try not to grab anything that is questionable. Um
Yeah. Yeah.
or that I will be questionable on, which is also why I'm like I like the Pragmata demo and it's different for me. It's a shooter, but it also has the puzzle aspect. So that's where the balance comes in for me. Um
Yeah.
You know, if someone else wants to review it, feel free. But this is not me claiming it on the podcast or anything. Um, but
I've
like, yeah, I don't know.
yeah. I've actually been finding that a lot with the simulation games. So like I'm the GSC simulation guy.
Mhm.
I love them. But the more that I play them, the more that I realize that there's a certain type of simulation game that I like. Just because it's a simulation game doesn't mean I'm going to enjoy it.
Mhm.
Like I like the doing an activity simulation rather than running a store simulation. So
Valid.
like I played Supermarket Simulator, and then I played Tabletop Game Shop Simulator, pretty much back to back. Exactly the same game, just exactly the same. You have a checkout, you're restocking shelves, you're buying items, and it's
Mhm.
just this loop
Mhm.
where things like Farming Simulator, Power Wash Simulator, like where you're out there doing task. It feels like you finish it and you're like, oh, great, let's move on to the next task. So I'm definitely going to be a lot more selective on my simulation games because
Mhm.
they are such a time sink as well.
They are.
They're a huge time sink. And
A lot
so
of
if it's
grind.
a yes,
Mhm.
exactly. And if it's a running insert store name here simulator, I'm out.
That's fair because how
Yeah.
different can they be? If you've
Well,
done
Just
yeah,
one,
different
turns out they're not.
products.
yeah,
Different products.
Yeah.
different product,
Yep,
different
that's right.
theme, and then it's like, okay, at the core, it's like, what are you doing that's different that is gonna make me want to play you?
See,
Mm,
so
yeah.
Supermarket Together, free game. There
Mhm.
is like a $5 like supporter pack you can buy to get different hats or something. I hate the game. My
But you get a cool hat.
e my
Sorry.
husband and
Sorry,
my
carry
my usually that would be the thing that made me stay, but, um, my husband and in-laws play it almost every week.
Oh,
Oh, really?
okay.
They run it he and his
Interesting.
siblings run a shop together, and I'm like, "Okay." Like, that is not my cup of tea. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
filling, stocking, I'm like, I'm not getting paid for it
Yeah.
type
Mm,
of.
yeah,
But,
yep.
like, the power wash, you want me to power wash like a truck? Okay, I'll do that.
I
Yeah,
don't like either
I
of
I'll
get it,
do
them.
I
that,
get
and
it.
I'll wear a little hat.
Yeah. Yep, yep.
Yep,
The only
exactly.
the only, caveat I would have to that, there was a game that came out this year called, um, What was it? It was
Spray paint simulator? No.
tiny bookshop. Tiny
Okay.
bookshop.
I
And
did
you
hear
all
about that
you
actually.
Yeah.
so the art, it was my game of the year. I'm gonna call it out, it was my game of the year. The
Yep.
art, the game, the storyline, because there actually is a storyline, is great. Now, do you run a little tiny bookshop? Yes, but there's additions to that, and I
Mhm.
think you actually might enjoy it as, like, a difference to running a, like, bookstore simulator, thing like that,
Mhm.
because there's a
Yep.
storyline behind it. Um, you get to buy books, you just buy a box of books and stock, and you get to choose books. Like, someone's like, "Oh, I liked Catcher in the Rye. Can you find me a book that's like Catcher in the Rye?" And you would go through and read the titles and stuff and find a book for them to read. So it's not the monotony, it's different,
Yep.
Mhm.
but
Yep.
I think that's it's sort of a simulator that you might actually enjoy.
Tiny top. Sorry, tiny.
Tiny
Tiny
bookshop.
bookshop.
What was it called? Tiny
Mhm.
bookshop.
Yep.
I'll pop that on the.
Yep. It
On
like
the
I said,
wish
it
list.
was my game of the year. It was my game of the year. Um, just the artwork, the gameplay. It's just a really, really, really good game.
The art style looks super cute too.
Doesn't it? It looks like watercolor. It's like mixed media
Oh
almost.
wow.
Mm,
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
fair.
Cool. All right. I'll add that to the. Oh, there's a demo. Cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I tried it.
Yep.
That's the
Done.
beautiful thing.
Done. Zell Washington. That's gonna be me, the Savo. Gonna play some tiny bookshop.
Try it out, right?
Love it. Love it.
And then
Exactly. Exactly.
if you love it, Brit will wake up to a message like, "This was so much fun," and if you hate it, Brit will wake up to a message being like, "What the hell is this?"
What the hell is this? Yeah.
I should have told you it
And
was my
so
game of the year.
Set the
yeah.
expectations real high. You know, what about
Right?
you, Phrase?
So yeah, there's a couple of.
What's a
Sorry?
genre that you like, a genre of gaming that maybe you wanna try?
Oh, I've gone I've dove in head first. So my game of the year last year was Lords of the Fallen.
Mhm.
It's older. It's an older game. It released didn't release very well. They pulled it. They did a bunch of work to it. They re-released it again. Um, I'm someone like it sounds like a real cop out, but like I don't like hard games, right? I play games to have fun.
Yep.
If there is accessibility options, I'm turning everything on.
Yep.
I don't care. I'm gonna do it. And so I have actively stayed away from Souls likes
Mhm.
because of the difficulty of them. I loved Lords of the Fallen so much that it's kind of made me realize like I have progressed as a gamer. Like I'm better at games than I was. And maybe I'm missing out on a lot of things by default playing on easy.
Fair.
And so I've decided that this year I'm going to try and work my way through the FromSoft catalog and
Brave.
add in anything else that tickles my fancy. So I'm going to start with Bloodborne. Um, I'm going to stream the whole thing. So that's something that I have toyed with is streaming. Um, it's something that you need to have a like a good reliable routine for it to do well.
Mhm.
I'm someone who is if I don't feel like doing it, I'm not going to do it. And so streaming has been a very much a thing of like I know I should, but I don't want to, so I'm not going to. And so I can't get that routine down just because of how I am. And so I'm going to try and stream Bloodborne, see how it goes. And then I
You
might
got your
stream
first 2
Dark Souls.
followers. You
Yeah.
got your first 2 followers.
That's such an
Yoo-hoo!
interesting eh, Godspeed to you, because that's such an
Thank you.
interesting game to have as, like, your first one that you stream. Uh, and actually, Sean was also in Gamer Social Club. That was the first game that he streamed, right?
No
But
way. Okay.
yeah,
Yep.
really interesting though because, you know, when we started streaming, it was like some friends who would watch us, right? Because, we were all sort of trying at the same time. Um, so if you responded to them right away or not, it was kind of fine, right? Whereas like when you're streaming, there is usually some expectation that like people in chat will get something of a response, right? And that's a lot harder with a game like a Bloodborne, right? So that's why it's so interesting that that's the first one you're going with
Yep.
because it is so much about the timing and the parry and the block and the dodge and the move, right? Um,
Yep.
and then
Yep.
balancing that with getting used to looking at chat, seeing if there's something there, speed reading it, responding it, parrying, and do like so there are so many sort of like muscles that you are like working at the same time. Uh but I
Yep.
will say as someone who has again I played Elden Ring, I played Dark Souls 3, and I played Bloodborne. Not that I finished any of them, right? But I did try them all on stream. uh, Some of it because of challenges, some of it because clearly I hate myself. Um I found that Bloodborne was the best one out of the ones that I've played. Um, so
It's
you
good to
might be
know.
setting
Yeah.
the bar too high with, like, Bloodborne being the first one. Like, there's something about
Yeah.
Bloodborne that I d whereas, like, I hated Elden Ring, I could not get good at Bloodborne, although a small part of me is like, I wonder if I went back and tried it after Expedition 33. Not that they're the same, because Expedition 33 is somewhat turn-based, but there is the dodge and the parry mechanics in,
Yeah.
Expedition 33, and it's funny because as you were saying, like, I like to play games. I'm like, "Yeah, I like to play games on easy." Except this fucking game, right, that I'm near the end of act 2, and yet I refuse to turn down the difficulty settings to easy because 'cause I'm like, "No, but I'm getting the dodge now, and I'm getting the parry, and now I feel good, and
I'm
now it
getting it.
feels
I'm getting it.
satisfying," and, like right? So I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I understand
Yeah.
now what people mean," but I am also, like, sometimes getting so frustrated. Uh so I was
Yeah.
not good at Bloodborne. I also made Bloodborne really difficult for myself because I thought I'd be funny and cheeky and be like, "Imma walk around with the pimp cane." The cane was not a good first weapon to try to use, right? I should have tried anything else, but I was like, "Imma look
Yeah.
stylish, right?
I got yeah.
Look at me."
Right? Yeah.
Right? But now I almost
Yeah.
wonder, like,
Well,
would I
that's
survive Bloodborne?
that's kind of how I fell in love with Lords of the Fallen was that like, oh, I just beat this boss that I've spent 20 minutes trying to beat. Oh, I just got to this next little bit that I'm trying to beat.
Mhm.
Oh, I just did the next bit. And I'm also very much someone who if I get stuck, I'm just gonna follow a guide. That's
Mhm.
just again the gamer that I am. I started my YouTube channel making guides for Hitman, so I've been on both sides of the guide thing, and I'm all about them. Like again, if you don't have a lot of time to spend playing games,
Mhm.
you want to enjoy it. I don't want to
Yes.
sit there trying to figure out this puzzle for 45 minutes if I only get 45 minutes.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so I found that like Lords of the Fallen was very much a you don't really need a guide for this. It kind of you just march forwards and just do your best. And so I think like obviously following a guide and streaming it's not going to be very interesting for people to watch.
Mhm. No. People
And
wanna see the
so I
struggle.
feel like yeah, that's right. And so I feel like something like this where a guide's not going to help me. I just need to get better at the game.
Mhm.
So that was my kind of idea behind that. I got sent a copy of the Outer Wilds.
Mm.
Sorry, not Outer
Mhm.
Wilds, Outer Worlds 2
Mhm.
a couple of weeks ago. And I did stream that. And I went back and watched my stream. And I was like, it's pretty fucking boring, Fraser. Like, you need to, like, so there are certain games that are streamable. And then there's games that just are not.
Yeah, I mean, I think it
And
depends on the
so,
person too and how you choose to do it,
yeah.
right? Because there are some that I will start streaming and then I'll be like, "Oh, no, I actually can't stream this," right? And, at this point, it's been going on 6 years of streaming, right? And it's like, "Oh, this is not a game that I can stream." Although I've seen other people stream it, and I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna do it."
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, you know, and and then there are some games where I'm like, "Yeah, I can totally do this." And some people are like, "I don't know how," like, I have streamed, like, a few JRPGs, right? And played them
Yeah.
all the way through, and some of them are very long, right? And, but I'll talk to Sean and he'll be like, "Yeah, I can't stream those types of games. Like, I just can't do it." And I'm like, I feel very comfortable with those types of games and sort of like in my niche, right? But some other games, I'm like, nope. And if there
Mm.
is like a lot of text on screen, I'm not good at like voice acting, whereas he is. So
No.
like certain
Yeah.
dating sims, he'll do that and he'll make voices and that's like how he's entertaining it. And then there's some where it's like, I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So I'm not gonna I started one the other day and I'm gonna play it on my own because I was like, yeah, I tried to do voices for 3 characters and I fell apart very quickly, right? And I have not met all of the love interest. So,
Yeah.
That
no.
was
Yeah.
me in Monster Prom.
Yep.
That was me in Monster Prom. I started Monster Prom, and I was like, "Oh, I can do all the voices because I love to voice act." And by then, my TMJ was acting up, and I was like, "I'm done with this. We're moving games."
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I
So,
think
yeah, I
that's
think
why I like Whatchacallit was so wonderful because you didn't have to do the talking. Date everything.
Date everything. Mhm.
Mhm.
You know what? That's
Yep.
that's what I wanna
I
see
don't
Phrase play. I wanna see Phrase play a dating sim.
yeah, I'll do it. I'm in.
That's what I
For
wanna
for
see.
me, and again, I like this is my ignorance coming through, I think. A a game that isn't voice acted, I almost see it as being a little bit lazy. Like, um, just all the text on the screen and you just sit there reading it in silence. Like, I don't know. I need more. There's been so many games that I've dropped because
Mhm.
it's just like so much reading.
No, I mean, I think that's fair, and that's, like, the type of gamer, that you are. I'm fine with lots of reading, but again, some of that is also, am I playing this for me or am I streaming this, right?
Mm, yeah,
And
Mhm.
then that
exactly.
will
Yeah,
also,
yeah,
determine that. And I think, and I've said this before to people, I think there should always be games that you stream and there should be games that you keep for yourself, right?
yeah,
Because
100%.
you'll burn yourself out. And it's the same with like writing for the website, right? Not every game that you play should just be the things that you write for the website because then you forget why this is like a hobby and a thing that you
Yeah,
enjoy because then it can feel like work and it's not work, right? But it can start to feel like your brain just starts to retool. So you need like those different pockets of
yeah.
things. Um but but yeah, I mean, I will say some dating sims don't have voice acting and they have a lot of text, but I would love to see you do a dating sim, like a ridiculous dating sim, just something fun. Um,
Mhm.
I feel like I feel can okay, wait, I'm gonna make a request and you don't have to answer it now because you can tell me no off the
Okay.
podcast.
Yeah,
But for
yeah.
February, could we just have a whole bunch of dating sims as the game of the month and just see how people react?
I
Yes.
al I already am gonna answer yes for that.
Okay.
I
You know
don't
what
I
needs to
don't
go
even
on
need to
there?
think about it.
Okay. Okay. There's one that needs to go on there. I already have one.
But
I
your
already have
eyes
one.
just lit up. You just
Uh,
lit up.
okay.
Oh,
So it's a drag queen one though, so it's amazing.
yep,
Um,
yep, I'm in.
Kitty Powers Matchmaker.
Okay. We should find okay,
Alright.
not that I'm trying to think of we should find the I don't wanna call them random, but okay, like, I'm thinking, like, so we have the drag queen one, right? There is Hot to Full Boyfriend, where you're dating pigeons. There is Later Daters, where you are in the nursing home dating other elderly people.
The
Um,
daddy one.
Um,
The daddy
Dream
one.
Daddy, yep.
Dream Daddy, that's it, yeah.
There's Hooked on You, the Dead by Daylight one. Like, I
Yep.
think we should
yeah,
find n I mean, yes, we should throw in one
yeah,
regular true dating sim, but I think it would be
yeah,
hysterical to be like, "It is the month of love. Here are these
some
slightly
fantastic
different
dating sims. Yeah,
dating. Yes. Yes.
yeah. Do you know what? I think February I'm just gonna play dating sim games. That's my thing.
Yes.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
I love it.
So what we need to do is I need to start making a list of some good
Oh, I
ones.
got you.
Oh,
You
yeah.
you are on the call with the right people right now.
Yeah, I love
Mhm.
it. Yeah, I'm
House
in.
Flipper
I'm
2 is
so
even
in.
coming out with a dating sim.
See?
House
Will you date
Flipper.
houses?
No. Um,
Oh,
but
that could have
it's,
been fun.
House Flipper dating sim. Um, there
Yeah.
I'm
was
so
an
ready for
that
February.
one's good. There was another one that was coming out, and it stopped their release because it was gonna come out at the same time around Date Everything, and they still haven't released it yet. It's called oh, where is it?
I'm so ready for this. Oh,
Oh,
we haven't even
okay.
entered January, and I'm sitting here
I
like,
know.
I
yes.
know.
I know,
Yeah.
it was like Date something. Um,
I love this though. I feel like Steve's gonna listen to this, and he's just gonna be like looking at some of these dating sims. Or
Yeah,
I
he's already got them
know.
on wish list, right? He's waiting for it. Yeah. The
Oh,
even though I haven't played the Dead by Daylight, I feel like that one would interest me because
mhm,
it's got some fun characters.
it's
yeah.
silly fun. It really
Day
is.
Day
Um,
Everything was another one that has piqued my interest.
Yes, you should
Thirsty
absolutely.
Suitors.
Oh, Thirsty
Thirsty
Suitors.
St Thirsty Suitors.
Mm,
My brother-in-law has
yeah.
been trying to get me to because that one isn't just a dating sim, like, it's an
Mm-hmm.
RPG turn-based battles too.
Yes.
So,
It's like Boyfriend
Oh,
Dungeon's another one.
far out.
yeah.
What
Hmm.
is going on? What is
Yeah.
Oh,
this?
don't worry. We got you. We
We
are
got you.
gonna
We got you. Oh,
we're gonna
I
come
love
up
it.
with
Yeah.
some interesting ones. I know
Mhm.
we're slightly to the end of our recording
Mhm.
time. Um, so now that we've cornered you into a February game of the
Yeah.
month, um, if people are
Yeah.
like,
Let's do it.
I need to see Phrase and not with dating sims that these two crazy hosts on this podcast have cornered him into, where can they find you besides Gamer Social Club?
So I'm actually on all socials as F Bomb Gaming. So that's FBOMBE Gaming. YouTube, Twitter. I'm on Blue Sky, but I'm not very good at posting on more than one thing at a time. So
Mhm.
I choose one and then I post on that for a bit and then I choose another and then but yeah, if you think of a social media platform, there is an F bomb gaming on it. Whether it is active or not, who knows? But yeah,
That's totally fair.
YouTube is my main one, F bomb gaming. Um, that's where I'm going to be doing all of my streaming. I've been meaning to talk to Candy a little bit about possibly streaming on Twitch versus YouTube and what the big difference is. Whether it's worth me splitting my followers or whether it's worth just starting something new or I don't know. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Yeah, F bomb gaming. Come and hang out. Very I'm just having fun. That's what it's about.
That
There's no
100%.
negativity. It's all just fun. Hang out, be good.
That
That's it.
that is exactly what it's about. Just just having fun, and hopefully anybody who's listening to this podcast episode had fun listening to the randomness,
Yeah.
the insanity, the tangents that just made their way through. If you did make it this far, thank you so much for joining us today. Don't forget that by clicking subscribe, you get this podcast every week, the weekly news podcast, and then special things that we put up. Like we had a spoiler cast, we had some of us playing Peak. There's going to be some Game Awards stuff. So make sure that you are following the channel. Join the Discord. The link is in the description so you can chat with us more regularly than just seeing these episodes once a week. And if you're really
Mhm.
feeling this episode, if you're like, you know what, that was so much fun, make sure to leave a like and, maybe even share it with a friend. Maybe a friend is going to be like, you know what, I've been meaning to get into some dating sims, and I like the sound of those
Yeah.
sims that they just mentioned. So
Definitely.
give it a share. What?
And I will just say also, there is a super secret project that's being worked on in the background. And so that's going to be coming to YouTube in the next couple of weeks as well.
See?
So
Mm.
there you go.
See? More reason
Hot
to give that
damn.
subscribe. You're gonna have to
Hot
subscribe to find out.
damn.
Mm.
Yep.
All right. Well,
That's
until
going to be
next time.
the.
That's until next time, and until that super secret project drops, we'll catch you
Uh-huh.
next
Uh-huh.
time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.